Hi, I'm Jessica Frodes, Head of Distribution at the New York Stock Exchange, and I'm joined by my colleague Kevin Terrell, Head of Markets at the NYSE. We're here today to talk to you about extended hours trading, specifically on our NYSE ARCA exchange. Great to have you here, Kevin.
Hey, Jess, great to be here.
So, Kevin, around-the-clock trading has been a very popular topic of late. Can you explain an overview of what extended hours trading is?
Sure. So extended hours trading is very simply trading outside of the normal core session. So our core session in the US runs from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. Extended hours is any trading outside of that time period. So NYSE ARCA, our all electronic exchange, has been trading from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. since 2005. We've been a leader in this space for a very long time. We've seen this very clear trend recently that there's more and more interest in extended hours trading, and we're looking to further extend the trading day because of that interest.
Okay, so the driver of this change is based on demand to access U.S. equities markets. Can you explain a bit more about the decision to finally do so?
Sure. So we've seen a few trends over the last few years that really led us to come to this conclusion to extend the day. One, there's been an increased focus, an increased amount of trading in equity markets. We've seen volumes grow over the last 5 years, and they've remained high since the initial growth. We've seen an increased interest in U.S. equity markets in particular from both domestic and international clients. So there's been more and more focus around the world on the U.S. equity markets. That's resulted in a growth in activity in extended hours trading. So in addition to the general growth in trading, we've seen extended hours pick up their share of the market. And in particular, within that, we've seen the hours furthest away from the core session grow the most. So this year, trading that happens before 7 a.m. is up 30% year over year. So this is clearly, an interest in this, in trading in more and more times a day. I think we've seen an evolution in the types of people that are trading, and an expectation from some of those newer entrants into the market that trading will be available whenever they want to trade. So when we look at our current offering, we think we're very well positioned, but we think there's room to expand and extend the hours further.
So you mentioned the eagerness to have access to our markets. What is the proposed timeline to when this will be ready and available?
Sure. So what we're looking to do, what we've proposed to do, is to trade 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. To do that, we need a few pieces of key market infrastructure available to us for an exchange to operate. And we've said this many times. We think exchanges can only operate when two key pieces of market infrastructure are available. One is the Securities Information Processor, or the SIP. This is a sort of golden source of trading data. All the exchanges report into the SIP. It's a consolidated data feed that tells you what's going on in the market. The other key piece of infrastructure is the clearinghouse, the DTCC. Every time an exchange does a trade, it goes directly to the clearinghouse for onward clearing and settlement. We've always said exchanges can only operate when those two functions are available. We expect those functions to be available in 2026, and we hope to have exchange trading up by the end of 2026.
So ARCA has extended hours today. What is going to be the difference between today's ARCA extended hours and future state?
So in many ways, the functionality will be the same. The order types and the way you interact with our markets will not change. It will just be the hours that change. We don't know what exactly will happen to the liquidity profile in these newer hours. What we see today is liquidity is concentrated on fewer venues in the extended hour session. We've seen growth in times furthest away from the primary market hours. So we've seen really dramatic growth this year in trading before 7 a.m. It's up about 30%. That trading is concentrated on fewer and fewer venues, rather. NYSE ARCA has over 30% market share in the pre-market session, which means market participants who are looking for liquidity can go to fewer places to try to find that liquidity. During the regular hours of the day, you have 16 exchanges open, you have dozens of dark pools, liquidity is very fragmented. It's not nearly as fragmented in the extended session. The other, I think, important point to mention here is what's not changing, and that's the core functions of the 9:30 to 4 session. So the opening auction will continue to run at 9:30 a.m. The closing auction will continue to run at 4 p.m. That closing auction on the primary listing market will continue to set a stock's official closing price for the day, and none of that will change.
Why not the full 24? Why are we only going to 23 hours?
Well, we've said everyone needs a break. So we think, given the importance of the U.S. equity market, we want to make sure that that system is as resilient as possible. By building in an hour break, we know we have time for system maintenance, system evaluation if needed. And it'll be the same hour break each day, obviously, so we know when we can do that work and do anything we need to do. In our conversations with market participants, we've also understood that market participants have similarly important work on their side to either adjust their systems to run end-of-day processing. They sort of need some indication of when one day ends, the next day begins, to know how to do that. We have an equivalent process in the exchange world for corporate actions. So our listed companies and our ETP issuers have events like dividends, stock splits. We need to apply those at a certain time. It's a very hard thing to apply something like that that's affecting the price of a stock as trading's going on. So having this preset break, we know we have time to apply corporate actions. When the trading starts again, everyone is on equal footing and everyone knows what the right adjusted price of a stock is.
And what time will the trading day start?
Sure. So we're going to start at 9 p.m. each night, and we'll have one very long session. So today we call our pre-market session the early session. In the future, we'll call it the extended early session. And we'll trade continuously from 9 p.m. till 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. we'll start our regular hours core session, which will run until 4 p.m. And then much like today, we'll transition from the core to the late session. At 4 p.m., the late session will run to 8 p.m.
And what will constitute a trade date, Kevin?
It's a great question. It's something we talked a lot about with the industry to come to what we think is the best solution here. So the trade date will start the night before the actual calendar date. So we take an example of trading on a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. That trade will be as if it's trading on Wednesday. That means it will clear T+1, U.S. equities clear T+1. So it will clear on Thursday because the trade date's Wednesday, even though the calendar date is Tuesday night. It also means that any corporate action that was due to be applied on Wednesday will be applied starting at 9 p.m. on Tuesday. So all that trading from 9 p.m. until midnight on Tuesday is as if it's Wednesday.
Okay, and speak to us about a holiday. How is that going to work?
Holidays will be much like weekends are. So if you start by thinking about a non-holiday week, we'll start the week Sunday night at 9 p.m. If Monday is a holiday, we'll start the week Monday night at 9 p.m. And again, that will be Tuesday's trade date, but we'll start that Monday 9 p.m. and go through to the following 8 p.m.
The expectation, I believe, from our investor community is how to access our markets on exchange, specifically ARCA. How would one go about doing that?
Sure. So NYSE ARCA is an exchange where any U.S. registered broker-dealer can apply and become a member. We have over 100 members right now. We have a list of members on the website. So any U.S. registered broker-dealer is welcome to apply. And if you're not a broker-dealer, if you're set up differently, you can reach out to any of those brokers listed on the website and find out what the best way is to interact with the market.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. Very informative.
Thanks for having me.
If you'd like more information on extended hours trading, please visit our website on the screen.